And we are rolling on part 2 of our PC speeches on November 9th, 2017, where it's a beautiful sunny day in Los Angeles. The sunshine is shining.
So today I want to tell you about 2 reasons why I'm personally committed to being more confident in myself and my abilities, as well as 3 actions I have taken to achieve this goal. So first off, I want to talk about an issue that I had when I was younger that made me inspired to start boosting my self-confidence. When I was about kindergarten to 3rd grade, I had this huge issue with eye contact, believe it or not. I couldn't make eye contact with people, so much to the point where my parents would go into parent-teacher conferences and teachers would complain that I was being disrespectful because I couldn't make eye contact with them. Now, this was not something about disrespect, but rather I was really afraid. I was afraid that I wasn't good enough and I would feel really insecure about who I was, and therefore I didn't want them to look at me, and I felt like by making eye contact I was assuming that we were equals and I didn't feel equal to them. So this makes me sad because I know I'm proud of myself and I know I have things to be proud of in my life, even from a young age, so this is why I'm committed to overcoming this issue. On a second note, I am committed to being more confident in myself because I am somebody who is immensely impatient. Now when I say impatience, I don't mean my frustration with others, I mean more that I'm very impatient with myself. If I don't get something on the first try, especially in academics in school and especially at UCLA, I get really frustrated and it starts this vicious cycle. First, I'll ignore a lot of people around me, spend a lot of time by myself trying to get the information, and eventually break down, cry, things like that. And I know that if I just took the time to remember that office hours are tomorrow, or convince myself that another day of studying will be better for me, and believe in myself, then I wouldn't have this emotional and physical exhaustion that I put on myself. So I'm hoping that by doing this and by not doing this anymore and breaking this habit, I can be more confident in myself. So 3 ways that I have overcome this issue. First, I'm trying to spend more time alone. Now this sounds strange because we want to surround ourselves by positive people, but I'm a super busy person. Between Student Alumni Association here, my sorority, and being in a show, Cabaret with Hooligan Theater Company, I literally have no time to sit down and just reflect. But by checking in, reflecting on where I am during the day and in my life in general, I think we'll be more successful in knowing who I am and therefore being able to be confident about myself. In addition to that, I hope to focus more on what I think rather than what others think of me. I think that much of our society is based on approval from others, whether it be our parents, our friends, our teachers, our boyfriends, our girlfriends, whatever it may be. We focus on what other people think of us way, way too often. And by focusing on what I know about myself, I can truly know myself for who I am and be more confident. Thirdly, I hope to kill negative thoughts. It's easy to let negative thoughts slip in, but it's easier to let them slip in about ourselves and others, to be quite honest. And by killing negative thoughts, turning can'ts into cans, I can teach myself to try new things, because if you don't try, then you don't know. And by trying new things, I've really been able to get a better sense of self, understand who I am better, and therefore be more proud of who I am. After doing these actions, I truly felt relief. I can't even tell you how I felt the first day when I started doing these things, because suddenly this weight was lifted off my shoulders and I no longer felt like there was so much expectation, because I was no longer worried about what others thought of me, but rather what I thought about myself. So in summary, I've told you 3 reasons why I am committed, or 2 reasons why I'm committed to being more confident in myself and my abilities, and 3 actions I've taken to achieve this goal. There should be no doubt in this room that I am personally so committed to becoming more confident in myself and trust more highly in my abilities. So come what may, come rain, come shine, like Katy Perry said, we can pull off anything with confidence. And I think that's something that we need to remember in all of our lives, because with confidence comes backbone, comes self-esteem, comes effort, comes drive, comes our career, comes everything that we know about ourselves. And without this confidence, we can't be who we're truly meant to be. So I think confidence brings this lifetime of happiness. Thank you.
Thank you. What'd you like? What was the time?
Time was 4.
3 what? 4 what?
4:26.
Crystal Blue Persuasion. Continue.
I really like your speech. I think you're really comfortable up there and you have really great eye contact, which I think makes your speech more convincing.
Yeah, you were even if you were faking it, you're faking it well. So that was good. Stand a little closer to
Okay.
it in the middle of the dealio. Yeah. Okay. Improvement, please.
Hi, I'm Sam.
Hi, Sam.
I think especially in the beginning you spoke quite quickly. It was a little hard to follow at times, so I think you had 30 seconds. You slow down a tiny bit and it's perfect.
That's a good point. Natalie, I like your speech a lot. You were concerned that it was so much like someone else's, but it really wasn't. It was really fine, but we waited and it worked fine. So congratulations. Love the Katy Perry quote about pulling anything off you want to with confidence and tying back to her. Your PC was very clear and your thesis was clear. Your significant statement was well put to the audience. Your main body, I really thought you really got your audience when you shared with us about you were unable to make eye contact with people. That was a real personal and private thing, and it's something that I hope no one in this room has a problem with, because you're not going to get a job and you're not going to be very successful in this society if you can't look people in the eye for long periods of time. And but there are people I have met like that. I had a debater that had this problem, and we had to work long and hard. He was brilliant, but he just would not look at the judge. And he wanted to go into law and do juries. Wow. On your second reason, you talked about how hard you are on yourself and wanting to change that, breaking down and crying and stuff. That was very honest, authentic, and real. Thank you for your honesty and trusting us with that. Very nice. I like that. That was real. On your actions, SAA, and you're doing a play apparently. And I am a strong advocate of 20 minutes a day of whatever you want to call it, meditation, or what do they call? What's the fancy word on campus now? It's well, they have a different word for it now, but it's important to get off of the merry-go-round and think quietly, because this is a very loud campus, and it's often hard to hear your inner voice when you're just rushing like this all the time. And you're very wise to self-reflect twice a day or whatever time you're taking. I say that it's a good way to strip away dead branches. On your other second, on your own value judgments, I thought that was good. And your fourth thing, you're killing your negative thoughts. They'll come. You just, try to transform them into positives if you can. Your actions of how you felt was superb. Your summary, conclusion, and tieback were all good. Back to Katy Perry. Let's talk about your canais. Speak more slowly. Make your thesis clear and succinct. Make varied eye contact. How'd it go?
I think in regards to eye contact, that was better. I think that comes naturally with walking around the room, because you can't look
play
over
that
here.
side, like you look over at Roberto
Right,
talking, and you
exactly.
have to make him stop. So pay attention to you.
So that
yeah.
went better. I think my thesis was clear, and it really helped set me up for the rest of the speech.
Yeah.
In regards to speed, I think in the beginning I went really fast, and then I tried to correct that by spreading out my body paragraphs. So I think the intro was a little bit rough speed-wise,
Yeah.
but the rest of it was better.
Okay, good. Sometimes people have when they get real good at this, when they're practiced at performance, they have little spots they know they want to be at a certain time. I know you ask for time down, and so that if you want to be, at the 2-minute mark, you want to be at a certain place. That's fine. Anyway, thank you. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, next will be Kyler, and that will be followed by Brianna.
I got the time, so.
Very good. And on deck, Sydney Benjamin. Cindy Benjamin still in this class? No?
Yes.
Tricking me again.
I didn't say anything.
Okay.
Is this good? Camera's good?
Everything's beautiful.
Cool. Yeah, hi guys, I'm Tyler.
Hi, Kyler.
So as pretty much all of our elementary and middle school teachers tell us, treat others the way you want to be treated. This is saying we learn as we're young, and our parents tell us to memorize the saying, keep it ingrained in our minds, but how many people actually do that? When times get tough, when our life gets busy, how many of us do what we're supposed to do? So today, I want to share with you my personal commitment towards helping others. I'm going to give you 2 reasons why I'm personally committed, and then 3 actions that I've taken to demonstrate my personal commitment. So as college students especially, our life is super busy, we have a lot going on, and we tend to kind of get on this track. Like Professor Miller was saying, we don't think about others, and we think that the most important things are getting grades, getting a good job, things like that. But when we really think about it, the world's a lot bigger than just us. We have to help others if we want to help ourselves, and ultimately, if we want to make the world better. So the first reason why I'm personally committed to helping others is because I have a passion for helping the younger generation, because I was fortunate enough to have a mentor when I was a kid. Now in middle school and elementary school, I was in Boy Scouts, partly because my parents wanted me to join Boy Scouts, partly because I thought it'd be good to put on a resume, because Eagle Scout looks pretty good. But honestly, I was kind of stuck up as a little kid, because I thought I could just get everything. But as I went through the ranks of Boy Scouts, I realized how important my community service actions and everything that I did in Boy Scouts, how important that was. And I saw the older Scouts, and they weren't doing it just because they wanted to put it on a resume, just because they wanted to get Eagle Scout. They were doing it because they wanted to help people. And when I finally got Eagle Scout, I realized that I needed to help the younger generation. I needed to be a resource for the younger generation to show them that they can be impactful and help others too. So the second reason that I'm personally committed to helping others is because my family's gone through some pretty intense times, and I've seen the effect that myself helping them and others helping them, I've seen how important that was. So when I was in between middle school and freshman year, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, and as a young kid, I didn't really know how to deal with this, so I kind of really just had to rely on my dad, and I saw how hard it was for her to go through 3 separate surgeries just to deal with this, and I saw how hard it was for my dad to deal with this, and the only thing I could do was just help her, make sure she had everything she needed, and I felt that even if I couldn't fix anything, then at least I could help her, and at least I could make her feel better. Unfortunately, this was not the only time my family had to go through this. In my junior year of high school, my twin sister had to get brain surgery, and this was actually more significant. She's my twin sister, so I didn't know what to do. I wanted to just perform the surgery, fix everything, but all I could do was help her, make sure she had everything she needed, and again, I just saw the impact that helping her had on her surgery, on her recovery. So now I want to talk about 3 actions that I've taken to demonstrate my personal commitment. So first, my sister, she takes a lot of medicine. She's fine, but she has a lot of overwhelmingness with all the medicine, so what I try to do, pick up the medicine for her, pick up food she needs, anything that she needs, and I try to visit her. She's at LMU, so whenever I can, and that helps her relax, de-stress, so it's a really nice way to help her out. Secondly, a lot of us in college were stressed, and one thing I try to do is I try to help my friends de-stress, help them calm down, make them realize that it's not really important. In the long term about getting a good grade on one test, you have to help others, you have to stay calm, and there's a lot more important things like taking care of yourself taking care of your family. Finally, in my senior year of high school, I started a nonprofit organization called T-Door, which actually helps kids get active in community service within the community, and this shows them how much of an impact they can have in the community. And I think when I felt these actions, I truly felt like I had changed the lives of the people that I was helping. And I not only saw their moods improving and their actions improving, but I saw my outlook, my mood improving. It was really awesome to see this improvement. So in summary, I've displayed my personal commitment towards helping others. I've shown you 2 reasons why I'm personally committed and 3 actions that I've taken. And so I guess just to recap, the 2 reasons why I'm passionate about helping the younger generation, I'm passionate about helping my family, and the 3 actions that I've taken, I've helped my sister, helped my friends distressed, and started a nonprofit in high school. And ultimately, there should be no doubt in this room that I'm personally committed to helping others. And I think in the future, when you all have kids, when you all have kids, but you're talking to a younger generation, and you're teaching them the golden rule, make sure you really mean it when you talk to them, and make sure that they really mean it when they say it back to you. And I think if we can instill this positive attitude, then we can create a better generation, a better place to live, and a better future. Thank you.
Thank you. Tyler, would you like?
I'm Sydney.
Hi, Sydney.
I thought your speech had a really great message. I know I personally related to your stories a lot, and I appreciate your bravery for sharing that.
Improvement.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good
Name.
speech. I'm Tim.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Tim.
I thought it was a really good speech too. I thought at the end it took me a second to realize like what your tie back was with the golden rule, but then once I got it, I figured it out. It just took a second. Besides that, it was great.
Yeah, you don't say it, you live it. Yeah, it was a good tie back. Kyler, I liked your speech a lot. Treat others the way you want to be treated, the golden rule. As we get older, we get busy, and as the E coming said, and down they forgot, as up they grew, you know. Yeah. And initially I was wondering if I was going to be able to be convinced by your PC of helping others, but I've had a couple of Eagle Scouts on the debating team, and they were extraordinary individuals. One was so prepared he saved the life of another girl on the team. So they're really quite extraordinarily prepared to be helpful to others. So I appreciate you becoming an Eagle Scout and sharing with us that you weren't just getting the little badges down your arm and across your chest, but you were actually ingraining this notion of service, and you know it started to stick with you, this idea of service to others, and you liked the feeling you got when you were serving others. And so the Boy Scouts teach a very important lesson. Your second story, why you're so personally committed, I agree, was brave. You shared with us your mother going through breast cancer and your sister brain surgery, and that has to be tough, especially since she's a twin. Your actions were excellent. They were all consistent with your PC, especially your third action of starting an organization. You had the feeling to make it sticky. You had how you felt about taking the action, so that was good. The summary, the conclusion, and tieback were all fine. You could have slowed down just a little since you were at 4:37, but it's better to be under than over, I guess. Don't steeple, you said, for your canais. Make more eye contact and have some intentional pauses. How'd it go?
I think I was steepling last time because I had my ring on, so I took the ring off. And I was
Good,
waiting for
yeah,
him to
lose that
pass.
evil ring.
I think I was making a lot of good eye contact as well. But I
Uh-huh.
think because of the timing and because I was rushing to try and finish, I don't think I added as many intentional pauses. But
Yeah.
there were definitely a couple, but not as many as I would have liked.
Okay, good. Well, I think those were good impulses to go for, and I would go for still even more an
Yeah.
emphatic style of delivery, so you're more interesting to listen to. But a really excellent job. Thank you. Okay, that brings us to Brianna. What was that? Oh,
The glasses.
oh my lord. And that will be followed by Sydney Allen Wade. Okay, rock and roll.
Alright, good.
Good morning.
Hi, my name is Brianna.
Hi, Brianna.
So I started hating my body starting at 12 years old. Shocking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, in today's society, it doesn't seem so. At a young age, I was always aware of how my body looked, and people would always be like, okay, if you are beautiful, you need to be skinny, you need to be curvy. So I was always very self-conscious about this fact. And so I know as I continue to grow older, my unhealthy eating habits kind of got the best of me, and there was a point in my life where I felt very unhappy and unmotivated. So today I will be speaking to you guys about my personal commitment of developing better eating habits. So I'll explain to you 2 reasons why I feel this way, or why I'm personally committed to this, and I will explain 3 actions I've taken in order to fulfill my personal commitment. So I believe that my personal commitment to eating healthier is important, not only as a personal commitment, but also as one for our society, because I know that oftentimes people are very unhealthy and engaging in very unhealthy habits, and it's important that we as a community advocate for healthy living because it's better, we live a better lifestyle. So the first reason why I have a personal commitment to developing better eating habits is that I want to feel good and look good for myself. I remember there was a time where I felt very unhappy and unmotivated about how I felt and the way I felt about my body. And so when I was in high school, I was in a very long-term relationship. It was at first, nice honeymoon stage. It was really nice. But then real quick, it got very detrimental and very toxic to not only my mental and emotional health, but also my physical health. I know my ex-boyfriend would oftentimes say, you're getting so fat. As he would hold my love handles, and I just feel the insecurities just wash over me as he was already pointing out what I already knew I had.
Oh my God.
So I felt the need I wanted to eat healthier to impress him, but I just never found the motivation to do so. It was just a bad, unhealthy relationship. So I finally was able to break away from this, and a year later I decided, you know what? I don't want to eat healthy to look good for someone else. I want to eat healthy because I want to look good for myself. And so this is the first reason as to why I decided that I want to be personally committed to eating healthy. So the second reason as to why I want to eat healthy is because in high school I was very active, I love running. I was in basketball, I was in track, I was in cross country, I was in volleyball, I was doing all these types of sports. However, I ate whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted to. And I didn't care because I was like, okay, I'm always exercising all the time. It's fine. My body, it'll just adapt.
Yeah.
So I know my performances, they were adequate. I mean, I got some medals, some trophies for my performances, but I always felt like something was missing. And so it was only until 3 months ago that I realized exactly what that was. I realized like all the hard work I was putting into working out, I wasn't seeing the results that I wanted to see. Therefore, I started figuring out, eating healthy was what I needed to do in order to feel good about myself and see the results that I really wanted to. So third, I will explain to you guys how the 3 actions that I've taken in order to achieve my personal commitment. So the first what is that I now log or try to log what I eat, and I know I'm not like super strict, like, oh, this is every calorie that I eat. No, it's just being more aware of what I'm eating and what I'm putting into my body, and I feel like that already in itself is progressing me towards my personal commitment.
Good.
Second, I started looking up healthy recipes because I know eating healthy could be kind of boring, and it's just, like, I know I'm eating a carrot, I'm like, I'm suffering, you know. So now I just try to look through recipes and try to figure out better and healthier ways to eat. And then third, I remember back in high school I would just eat out all the time, junk food every single day. And now I am a college student and inherently broke, but I try to limit the amount of times I go out to eat. Fourth, so I started taking these actions for myself, and I just felt this sense of motivation and happiness. Like, my stomach wasn't so like bloated all the time, and it just felt really, really good. So yeah, these actions have really caused me to be really happy with myself and my body.
Right.
So, to conclude, I have given you 2 reasons as to why I want to eat or have a personal commitment in eating healthy. That is to feel good about myself and also to get the results that I want. So, I am 20 years old, and I started to love my body. Yes, I still look in the mirror and I see imperfections. Yes, I still feel self-conscious, but the most important part is that my name is Brianna Diaz, and I love my body with all its imperfections. Thank you.
Thank you. Very nice. Like.
Hi, Nolan.
Hi, Nolan.
I really liked your stories. I thought they were like well crafted, and I really enjoyed your conclusion.
Thank you.
Improvement.
I'm Tina.
Hi, Tina.
I thought your speech was really good, but I noticed at the beginning you kept like doing this,
You what?
like the hand gesture.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
other than that, it was really good.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
There were some distracting hand gestures, which you will see tonight on YouTube, but overall, this was an excellent speech. Very honest. You started with your name, and you grabbed us by telling us that you hated your body, shocking, and detailed some of the ways you felt you were inadequate, not skinny enough, not curvy enough. You know, that was all, you know, everyone goes through this, you know, we all do, and it's horrible, but it's good to hear it from somebody, say it, and it's very, it grabs, and so it got our attention. Your thesis preview was good. Your SIG statement was good. I think that you needed to just sell just a little bit more to them. Just say what I'm going through, you probably have gone through too, and you may get some insights from me. On your first story about this loser boyfriend you had that talked about you're getting fat and get rid of those love handles. Yeah, and you got rid of him instead. That was good. Yeah. So yeah, that was. And you decided that the most important person you were going to lose weight for was you, and not some dude that wanted a love goddess, you know, right? Or a Barbie doll or something. I don't know what he wanted. Yeah. On the second reason, you talked about the fact that you were just, you know, doing cross country and running, doing all kinds of stuff, but still eating really poorly. So you decided that that was the key thing that you needed to change. So you told us you were starting to look at your protein intake. Limit your carbs, find better recipes, and eat less, eat out less. You had a good how you felt. Your summary was good. Your conclusion, you skipped, there's no doubt in this room, but other than that, you had a good tie back. It was very engaging. You're nice. Engage in felt sensing in a professional manner. Reduce the filler words like Speak confidently and have my body language convey this. What was the time?
5:37.
5:37. And how did it go?
Well, the felt sensing, I feel like it was very professional because I know before I wouldn't be able to talk about certain situations the way I did today. And I felt very free and very comfortable talking about these situations.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Great.
And then the
Great.
I mean, I didn't really notice, but I did feel like my hands will be here, so I don't really know what was coming out through here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then the third one, what was the third one again?
Confident body language convey it.
Oh yeah, I felt like I wasn't like before. I was more like swaying. Now I was like more centered,
Yeah.
but still a little need to work on like the whole.
Okay. Nice job. Thank you. Okay, our work is done for the day. Return with honor. Thank you for timing.
You're welcome.